Live from Queens, New York. It's Schmuel Buckman. Wow. I don't know if anybody was there, but just got off Ray's stream. What a trip. What a goddamn trip. Um, Opinion. Today got a new reason to hate Schmuel. Would you like to tell me what that is? Mint diggity. I think that we misunderstood each other. I was trying very hard to get Ray to do that basketball game. That's what I thought that's what this was all about. Fumbling Ray's bag. Hey, I want him to get paid. So that's the deal. Right? Anyway, so what's going on? Just came off Ray's stream where we talked about Ray and this basketball game because I wanted to get him paid. And I also wanted to encourage him to do it. So that was my plan. Apparently, it didn't go as well as I thought, but he will do it. He'll be there. He's committed. He told me earlier today he was committed. So we're going to do that. And I haven't been on with Ray in ages, so I thought I would go on with him. So there's that. But yes, fumbling, mint diggity, fumbling Ray's bag. Well, I may have fumbled. I don't know if it was Ray's bag that I fumbled, but there we go. So I have had no intention of doing a stream tonight. Not really planning on staying on for very long, but I kind of wanted to do that. Oh, wait, mint diggity. Well, he needs to negotiate the money with Chad, but you told him not to go on MLC. No, that's not what I said. Mint diggity. 100% that's not what I said. What I said is he needs to get paid. He needs to get paid for the event. And if MLC is not going to pay him, then he shouldn't go on MLC. If MLC is then going to abuse him and talk about how Ray's an idiot and Ray comes on without getting paid. So, yeah, I look, it would be great if Ray could go on and Ray would get paid. But here's my buddy. Nice podcast, stupids. Dan. I saw
How we
you in
doing,
the
Schmuel?
Good, buddy. I saw you in the chat on the other show, and I was thinking you agree with me, but I don't know that you do as far as getting paid for Ray.
Well, I think Ray should. Well, first off, I think anyone should get paid for anything. It's all you get paid what you negotiate. You get paid what you're worth. But if you don't ask for it, you don't get it. And I feel like Ray leaves a lot of money on the table. So if I was Ray, well, first off, key to negotiating, and Schmuel, you probably know this. You've been around for a long time. Is, there's only so many times when you have the power to negotiate, and it's when people want you. So, like, if you get a job offer and someone says, hey, Schmuel, we want to sign you to come work at XYZ Corp, you'll never have more negotiating power than when someone indicates that they want you for something. Right now, people want Ray. They want him for this basketball thing. They go on MLC. They're like, where's Ray? Why isn't Ray coming on? Ray should use that to his advantage, and he should negotiate money. And he should say, I'm not going on MLC again unless in writing you tell me that I'm getting paid X number of dollars every time. And if you don't pay me, then I will never go on again. And he should hold firm to that. KB needs Ray more than Ray needs KB at this point. And same with Chad.
That's my view. But I don't agree that he needs to get it in writing. I understand that obviously would be the preferred method, but I just think he needs to get KB to commit to paying him. And
yes,
and
no
look,
more freebies, no more free lunch.
Right. Look, it would be one thing if he went on KB's show and KB was saying what a great comic he was and encouraging people to go to his spots and do all that. But he goes on, he just gets shit on. It's like you're getting pies thrown in your face for an hour, or two, and called an idiot.
And
It's
he
the,
used a great word today. He said, "You treat KB treats me like what? A stooge." And that's
mm-hmm.
exactly right. And to Ray's credit, and I said actually DM, I was saying this to Ray the other day. I was like, "You're more clever than people give you credit for." Ray is not like Ray may be kind of, people think that he's, this doe-eyed kind of naive person. He knows what's going on. He knows when people are goofing on him. He gets that aspect of it. And so if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna be the clown act, if you're gonna get the pie in the face, then you get paid for it. It's like that's hazard pay. Give me my money. You want to make me the butt of the joke. You want to bring me on. And to be honest, Schmuel, what MLC has evolved to is it's a stooge show. He brings his stooges. He cycles through the stooge show. So he brings on Chad, he brings on Liam, he brings on Stevie Lou, he brings on Felicia, although not as much anymore. It really is a cycle of people that he feels that he's above, and he brings on for comic relief and to get people to engage and to send money in. So if you're doing that for him, why would you give a freebie? Because what's Ray getting out of it? Getting plugs? I mean, KB barely plugs anything for him, and he makes him look like a fool. And
Right,
then when he's not
exactly.
there, he makes fun of him. So get paid. Get paid. If you're gonna do it, get paid. Otherwise, tell KB to take a fucking hike, Heisman, and don't engage with him anymore. Don't do the
Right.
basketball thing. Don't do the shows. If you're not going to get paid or he's going to back out of it, don't do it. End of story.
Just pay. But we're not talking about huge sums of money here, right?
No.
You got to have some. I don't know, man.
You gotta have
It's
skin in the
like,
game, man. You gotta, even if it's $50, hey, even if it's $25, maybe that's enough for it to be worth your while to do an hour with KB or whatever. Whatever. I can't speak for Ray. Maybe $25 means a lot to him. Get what you can get. Negotiate it. I feel like Ray, he talked about the NBA, but he is so bad at negotiating. Like, listen to you or mommy or me or Lady KB or something. Like, we're trying to help you. Like, get paid. I want to see him get paid. Like, get the money that you can get. And if not, don't do it.
right. And we're
And
not
just
talking
tell
about
KB to
ripping.
go
We're
fuck
not
himself.
right. We're not asking to get overpaid. We're not asking for too much. It's a fair amount of money. And I'm gonna go up here. This opinion. Whoa, why am I in the wrong place? Let's say opinion. Buckman, why do you and No Neck Dan constantly insert yourselves into others' businesses? Um, well, I don't know
Isn't
about,
that what this is? Isn't that what this whole thing that we do is inserting ourselves into stuff?
but Ray is also a friend of mine, right? And that's part of it. And it's like I've had conversations with Ray about, hey man, you're going to do these shows, you're getting paid, 75 here, 50 there. How much is gas costing you? What does it cost you to stay overnight? You're staying at at other places. Like at some point, he's 51, going to be 52 years old. At some point, he's going to be 62 years old. Now he thinks he's going to die at 58 because everybody in his family did, but that's not going to happen. You're going to be a lot. You're going to have nothing. You can't keep doing this. This guy's one broken leg away or sprained ankle away from poverty. Like, you got to make the money while you can make it. Make hay while the sun shines, especially if they need you, right?
Yeah, I think Ray and a lot of these people, and I would include maybe even Chad in this. I don't know that they have an end game to what they're doing. They live a life of desperation. It feels like to me, where it's a quiet desperation almost of it comes across like, and I don't know if you've been following, but Chad has kind of been ribbing me a little bit online and in videos and posting pictures of me and saying things about nobody watched my show, which is not totally inaccurate. But and all of it derives from one time I just made an offhand comment. I don't go in on him. I don't make fun of the arrest records or his relationship statuses or anything, his past. I've actually probably given him more of a fair shake than most people, but I dared bring up that his super chats were down a little bit.
I did see that.
And that rubbed him the wrong way. So now I'm persona non grata. And it's funny, there's a lot of people that have joined the ranks of the persona non grata with Chad lately. Ava, who's this woman who's in his chat all the time, she was in Melton's chat, so now he said that she's backstabbed him, and she's like persona non grata. That Reels guy, who is a prolific kind of super chatter guy, or he's I don't know, he was either in Melton or he wasn't sending super chats anymore. Now he's kind of fallen out of favor with Chad. It's everybody, like, if you're not, completely loyal 100% to people like Chad, then you're it's either you're with us or against us. It's like the old George Bush thing. Like, you're either with me or you're against me. And I'm sorry, like, that's not the way to engender an alliance with me. If you tell me who I can be friends with, I'm going to tell you to go fuck yourself.
And Reels is a good guy. I've met him at a bunch of stuff, and he's just a good guy, and he's a nice guy. Chad is very hard to be friends with, but I don't know that
my biggest thing with Chad is
I just want to say that I don't know that they're living with this desperation. I don't think that's it. I think what happens is, particularly among guys who were younger, it was like, well, when they needed money, they could make it, right? Like, I could just turn it on. So I could go and I could do shows, I could do these things. But as you get older, there's less and less of that available to you. One, people don't want you. Two, you don't have the energy to do it. And three, you kind of want a decent life. Like, you're in your 50s. It's like, you'd like to be able to go home and sit on the couch and not have to worry that the mortgage or the rent is due at the end of the month, or be able to turn on the air conditioning and not have to worry that you're not going to be able to pay the bill. That
the analogy that I like to use is, so I'm in Miami this week, which I've you might have heard me say, but so I was like walking around like Miami Beach area today, and actually the whole weekend, and I'm a man of a certain age, like you, I know that 20 something girls aren't going to be like fawning over me. I'm like an old guy now. I'm like their dad's age, and I'm married anyway, so I wouldn't care, but I sort of like, I'm not in demand. Like, I'm not in demand. Like, I'm not like the party guy anymore. Like, I'm not, it's not spring break party Dan. Like, that was Dan 20 years ago. And, but the good thing is I have a good job and I have a wife to come home to, and a life, and I'm very comfortable in my skin and all that stuff. So like, I'm not sad about it. It's just like, okay, well, that's, I know who I am. People like Chad and Ray are living a lifestyle, or trying to live like people like 20. They're trying to do what they did 20 years ago. And to your point, you can't just turn it on anymore. Like, you're not in demand. Like, nobody like Chad. I mean, I don't know if you saw this week. He called Godfrey live on the air and said, "Hey, I know you're going to be in Tampa, and I can open for you." And Godfrey's like, "Yeah, I think I'm going to pass. Like, I think I'm okay. I think I'm all set." And it was like, wow, that was pretty. I kind of felt a little shame for Chad, like, to do that live on the air. That's kind of embarrassing. Is like, you're not really that in high demand, and when you hit 50, I don't care what job you have or what you're doing in life. You're on the back nine, right? You're on the back nine of the golf course. If you haven't got to where you're trying to get to, like, you're probably not going to get there. Like, I don't want to pick on Liam, but I'm going to pick on Liam. Liam is 50 something, and he's in film school, and and now I guess he's taking a semester off. Like, if you really wanted to do that, if you were really all in on that, you might have wanted to do that like 10 or 20 years ago. Or if you're into it, don't go to school. Just start making films. Like, just do it. Like, don't go to school for it.
Yeah, Liam is a separate issue that I'm happy to talk about, but for the moment, I do part of part of my thing here is the chatters, and I want to go into. I saw one here from Carlos Danger. Carlos, Frank, you don't. Oh, you right. You don't remember 2 years ago when Ray was making a killing with bigger staff. Neither do I. But Ray hasn't made a killing. He's not making a killing at all, right? And we're like, and I'm like, just get paid. And eh, Genta, why waste your fucking time with Ray? I don't know, Genta. I don't have an answer for you. I just he's it's frustrating. It's frustrating to me. I talk to Ray a lot, and a lot of what he does is frustrating to me. And so, but I am seeing what Dan is seeing, which is that right now he's needed more by them. That they need him more than he needs them. So it's like, why not capitalize? We're not saying be a dick and say I need $500 or whatever, but give me $50. Give me what I would get paid if I did a spot someplace. I don't think that's unreasonable.
I just want to. There was somebody in the chat. I know you're not supposed to read the free chat.
No,
BFE
you read.
says
The free chat is all I've got, and that's what we do, and that's what makes my. I love the chat. If it weren't for the chat, I wouldn't be here. So go ahead.
USC Film School is like Harvard Business School. The connections you make are priceless. 100%, I agree with that. However, the people that you're talking about that went to USC Film School, and I'm gonna butcher the directors, but there's a lot of famous ones. Like, I don't know if it was Coppola, or there's a lot of famous names. If you go down the list, like, it's like, oh yeah, I've heard of this guy, heard of this guy, heard of this guy. Spielberg might have even gone there if I remember correctly. Yeah, they went when they were in their 20s. They were kids when they were there. And yes, they made connections and stuff. Liam is, once again, I'm not trying to totally pick on him, but like, those connections don't help when you're 52 years old or whatever Liam is. Like, you're running out of time. Like,
yeah.
Like, the 30 years that you could have used those connections for, you wasted eating Doritos or whatever you were, or doing stand up or whatever you were doing. Like,
I would, it depends. Look, it depends upon your circumstances, right? Like, I went back to college and finished college when I was 40 because I hadn't finished college. And it was something that I always wanted to do. And that's why
I finished an MBA when I was in my late 30s. So, like,
right.
Yeah,
so
I get doing it later.
It's not like it's like, look, if I got a chance to go to USC Film School, I would, but it depends upon what your purpose is and stuff in doing that. But from what I heard, Liam wasn't going anywhere, right? Like he said, it was COVID. He had not graduated from college, and he went to community college during COVID because he had nothing to do and nothing going on. So we're talking, right? We're not talking about a guy who had himself set up and then he gave that up to do this. We're talking about maybe you didn't have someplace you were going in the first place. And Liam's a smart guy. I don't necessarily particularly like him as a person. I think he relies too heavily on Ray for content, but I don't begrudge him. I don't begrudge him doing the USC thing, and it's fine. Just do it.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the goal is. That's what I wonder is like, well, what's your end game, right? Where do you plan on being? Yeah, and that's what I don't understand about these guys. Certainly not.
Well, and that goes back to my other thing, is just like, a lot of these guys are just a mark of someone that's super, like, intelligent and successful is someone that always is thinking a few steps ahead, whether it be investing, like, for the future. So, like, you see some of these people that are freaking out about the tariff stuff, and mind you, there's reason to be panicked a little bit about that, especially if you're, you just went into retirement and you've got a lot in stocks and it's hit your portfolio very quickly. I get it. But if you've been thinking over long term, you've been kind of dollar cost averaging for 30 years. And maybe as you got older, you diversified out and now you have fewer percent in stock and more in fixed income. So you're not, so like, people that thought ahead, that didn't just like put all their money into like Tesla or Bitcoin. And no offense, Leo Gunn, because I know he's a big Bitcoin guy, but like those are, I mean, that that's a speculative investment if you're doing that. People that are thinking kind of like, okay, this is what I need to live and retire with. They're taking a longer view and all that. But then also just like careers or like the next step in what you're doing, like where are you going to be in 5 years? I think I might even asked Ray this, or you asked him one time, Ray, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Asked him that question. He's like, and I think he even might have even said something really like kind of
It's gonna be
morbid,
dead.
like I'm gonna be dead
Yeah,
or something.
it's gonna be
And it's
dead.
just like, okay, well then like what's the whole point? Like, what are we doing here? You know, and it's just that's kind of that desperation that I'm talking about. Anyone that thinks like, oh, 5 year, I'm just gonna be dead in 5 years, like that's not really the right way to be thinking about things. And and Chad, I don't know if Chad knows kind of what the next step is, what he's going to do. He probably can't get a real job if you. A lot of these guys, like Gino, I'll use Gino as another example. Gino ain't got no money, and if I Gino, now maybe he's going to get an inheritance. Maybe the Kiki money is enough to sustain them, and so maybe it's not an issue. Like some of these people, somebody said that Chad might have got an inheritance recently because his dad died or something. Bravo! I hope he did, and I hope he uses that to take care of himself and get his financial, well-being all set. But like a lot of these people, you're 50 years old and you haven't worked a real job in over a decade. Like that's I wouldn't want to be in that place, and they don't have any money saved for retirement. So
Yeah.
and they probably haven't even been paying that much into Social Security. That's not a great place to be.
This is one of I had a discussion with Joey C about this once where I said, I think the maximum, no matter how much maxed out on Social Security, right? I think you get like $3,600
Yeah.
a month. And I was like, it's only $3,600 a month. And he was like, I could, he could live gloriously on that. And I'm like, it's like a mortgage payment, I don't know. I want to address this though. Genta, dude, you're a moron. Going back to school never hurts. Should he rent out a basement in his dead parents' home?
By the way, and I saw that comment from Genta. Genta, I'm not trying to disparage anyone that's trying to better themselves or going to school in any way, shape, or form. It sounds like you double your salary. That's fantastic. And like I said, I went back and got my MBA like 15 years after I graduated undergrad. Like so, I've done the older thing, and it helped me immensely in my career. It helped me get to the next level of where I needed to get to. So. Bravo! I'm not disparaging that,
right?
But you also have to be realistic. Like,
but that's why I don't want to.
But
that's why I don't want to disparage Liam, because we don't know, or I don't know what his condition was before he went to film school. From what I heard, it wasn't great. He was not in a position that he was going to be able to do anything. And so now, even if he's in his mid 50s and he gets through a couple of years of USC film school, the rest of his life could be fine, right? I mean, a union
it seems
job.
Like he comes from money or something. He must be like a trust fund person, right? He must have some thing going.
No,
like,
as far as I know, no. From no, but I don't know.
No?
I don't know
Okay.
enough. I don't know enough to comment. But I do not think that he's a trust fund kid. I don't think he's got money. Plenty of money. But again, I don't know that. But I know he's got an apartment. He said on air that his apartment in LA is rent controlled. So he's got that. And Liam seems look, Liam seems fine to me. Liam can do whatever Liam wants to do. That's I don't care about that. Liam does, but Liam
I'm
is
not worried.
not.
Yeah, nobody has to be worried about Liam. Liam doesn't seem like he's having any
Liam,
issues.
I'm not talking to Liam like I don't whatever Liam does is fine. Like with Ray, I don't know. I don't know why he's my friend. I don't know why.
Are we concerned? Some of these people are saying that we're concerned trolling Ray. That we're using Ray as a we're doing like kind of a double thing on Ray, which I disagree with. I like Ray. Ray's been nice to me. I've been on his show and he DMs me, and now I will fully acknowledge that Ray is Ray has a problem, and the problem is that everything is about how does it help Ray. I think you know this, Shmuel. It's when he reaches out, it everything kind of cycles back. In fact, I think it was Louis J. Gomez who called this out about Ray on that show. Is like, every time I see you, it's because you want something. And Ray is one of those people that he'll ingratiate, you can be ingratiated with him, but it's because it's what can he get out of you a little bit.
Yeah,
And if you understand that part
it's
of the
pot
friendship
right.
is,
But
then you
and
get past that. He's not a bad person.
but then the issue is that um I think I know at least one other guy who's in the chat
Yep.
has offered him help more than just offered him just excessive amounts of help. And it's like he always what I think it was Cardiff that said it about him, or Tukey. It's like he always chooses the wrong fork in the road, you
Mm,
know? Like you offer a direction and it and it's based on common sense, and he'll always take the opposite one,
yeah.
And then you're like, and then a month later you're getting the phone call trying to dig themselves out of the problem that you told them how to not get into a month ago, right? So, but yeah, I'm not really comfortable with talking about Ray. I know, so Ray, I don't mind so much, but like Liam, I don't really know. I don't know what Liam's story is, but I do know that I've like looked at some of Liam's old comedy and some of Liam's old writings, and his stuff is good. I mean, he's got good stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what goes on with that. Schmuel gets to call Ray a retard for an hour on YouTube, which none of us could do. Schmuel doesn't care about Ray. Ozone, that's your comment. Ozone, I really disagree. I really disagree. And I can tell you right now that Cookie Buckman would disagree with you vehemently. I like Ray. I want to try to help him out, but there's only look. What can I do, right? Like tonight with the referee thing, I wanted him to get a referee so he doesn't get screwed, but automatically he goes, "No, wait, they're going to get a referee to screw me," and I can't help that kind of thinking. Beloved chatter, I've talked
Typically,
to.
people. Okay, go right. Yeah.
I'm gonna just read this real quick.
Yeah, that's good.
Beloved chatter, I've talked to Ray dozens of times. He never once asked me a single thing about my life, nor has offered to do anything for me. He's self-obsessed and angry. And Carlos Danger's response to that is at Beloved Chatter 100%. Go ahead, Dan.
Okay, so what I was going to say is, I think there's a lot of truth to what Beloved Chatter just said. And I don't know I don't know that Ray's angry, but I do think that he is, what is the term, solipsistic, right? He's just kind of in his own bubble, and it's about Ray. Ray is the center of Ray's universe. And for any one of us that's had a relative or a relationship of someone who is, I don't know if it's narcissistic, like sometimes it's narcissistic personality disorder, sometimes it's other things, but this solipsistic view of the universe where you are the center of everything and everything is about how it helps you. And Ray is one of those types of people. In real life, I try to avoid those types of people like the plague. My late grandmother was one of those types of people. Everything was about how could you help her. She'd bitch and complain about everything, and it wasn't just me, because people that didn't know she was my relative would say things like, "Oh my god, that old woman is a piece of and as oh yeah, that's my grandmother. Yeah, I'm familiar. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, it's okay. I have to live with her. I get it. Um, so there are those types of people that have sort of this main character solipsistic view of the universe, and Ray is one of those people. In real life, like I said, I would ignore those people, but Ray is a colorful character. Ray can be a nice dude, can be fun, he has moments. He can be pretty funny. Like he has some talent. I don't know if it was the car accident or something, or some other trauma that's kind of made him not the happy-go-lucky person he might have been years ago. I think there is something to some of that, but I don't think he's a bad. I don't think he's a bad dude. I think he makes poor decisions, and I think he probably takes advantage of people to get things and use them that way. But he's a colorful character, and people are like, "Oh, you're concerned." It's like, or you're doing this to get attention. You're doing this to get, It's like, yeah, we're all doing this to get attention. That's why people are in the chat right now. Like that's like, yes, there's a little bit of acting here and trying to get attention and doing that, and we like to, we all like to be seen and heard. So we all have a little bit of narcissistic streak
I
in
also
us.
get,
So I guess maybe
obvious.
that's why I like Ray in some regards. But yes, to Beloved Chatter's point, I do agree. He is someone that is thinking about how it helps Ray, not versus how it helps other people.
I just, I look, I think part of me thinks that accident, that some of this is organic, and he doesn't have, like, I don't know, like I'm helping, it's like somebody who can't open a door. I'm trying to help them open the door, Um, I don't know. And it's probably a quality on my part. And maybe I should just ignore it. But I really think that accident changed him and messed him up. So, you know, because I also do find it hard to believe sometimes how he acts. So, Ozone, once again, well, here we go. Once again, calling Ray brain damaged. Ozone. I mean, I guess one could say that. um, and I'm not going to deny it, but I just think that that accident caused some. If you talk to comedians who knew him before and talk to comedians who've known him since, they say he's a very different person. So I don't know.
I had an uncle that had a traumatic brain injury after a car accident, and he was a completely different person after the accident. And he got divorced from my aunt, and he was not the same guy. Like he was not. There was a line of demarcation where something changed with him. Now he didn't become like an evil person or a bad person. He was just different, and that happens with traumatic brain injury. So I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not sorcerer or whoever else, these other medical people. They could probably diagnose better. But to me, it feels like there probably is some issue there, and it might not be the accident. Like I said, it could have been some other. Sometimes people have other traumatic things. Maybe something in his childhood that got triggered as an adult. You never know.
Yeah, there's definitely
he
a lot of
definitely
stuff. And
seems like a different person.
Ozone, this is getting clipped. Ray can be free of your influence. It's not anything that I haven't said to him, so feel free. I'm not going to say something on here. I'm not going to say something on YouTube in public that I wouldn't have said to him in private, or at least own it.
Are we really saying anything like that hasn't been said before? I mean, this is
no,
not like.
Look, I Ozone, holy shit, Schmuel and Dan are both calling him genuinely retarded. No, we're not. And we're trying to figure something out. And look, I got other people in here saying Ray is just evil. He's an evil, lying sack of shit, right? And I'm saying no, I don't think so. And maybe you see that as a result of one thing. Maybe I see it as a result of another. Now I'm really digging myself in deep. But I like Ray. I don't know why, but I think Ray I find Ray entertaining. And what can I tell you? But
I think, and just to talk about the entertaining thing, there is, and this may be just me, and maybe I'm just weird, but there is nothing in the Dabbleverse, Hackverse, whatever you want to call it. I just always cringe when I say Dabbleverse, but the Dabbleverse, we'll call it for lack of a better term. There's very few things that entertain me more than when Ray has an interesting person on his show, and he's not the greatest interview in the world. In fact, he drives me up a wall sometimes with like not interviewing the person well. But a lot of these people have really good patience with him, maybe because they know him in real life. But he has some of the most interesting people that you don't normally hear from. like that Hope chick that was on last night, who is one of the most fascinating people. Like, and to like sit there, I'm just like, I'm mesmerized whenever she comes on. That Surah girl that's a comedian, she's really funny, and she's got like a surprisingly good sense of humor about even people like making jokes and things like that. He had these two brothers, the Stone brothers, and they were kind of like ambiguously gay almost, and that was really funny. He brings these really interesting people because of what he he must be gregarious enough where he meets all these people. I don't know how he gets them all, but um, to me, that's much more entertaining than watching the same, like, let's do a clip show, or let's talk about Stuttering John, or let's do this for the 1,000th time, or let's, it's like he's doing something different, and it's entertaining and it's funny. And like, I'm much more likely to watch 30 minutes or an hour of that, just sit down, before I go to bed, than to like watch the same rehashed bullshit again. So for those that say like Ray isn't funny or isn't entertaining, I'm sorry, he's one of the most entertaining people that is out there. I am mesmerized, not all the time. Sometimes it's a bore, and sometimes he's drinking too much, and you're just like, oh, Ray. But when he has these interesting people on, there's nothing better. I would put that up against anything else that's in this little universe.
He could be fun. He has it's just weird because he has an innocence about him that attracts these people, and then they'll come on his podcast and have no idea who the chatters are and what they're getting into. And
so let me tell you about the dabble like, I love when the people like, they get like, so what are these people talking about? Well, I didn't want to talk about the dabble verse, but there's this thing, and it's about Stuttering John, and there's this guy Kevin Brennan you might have heard of.
And they just start. So I'm sure we're going to hear about this. I want to run through some of these super chats, or chats actually. Carlos Danger. I mean, I don't think anyone who knows Ray hates him. Not a true hate. I mean, except that Genta, she's been consistent. Yes, she does not like Ray. Big W also said only like Liam because he does our show. Ray also does our show. I don't know. That must be something. That must be about Povo. And hey, I got Dave Sauer here.
Hello.
And Ozone. He said he acts in an evil, malicious way, basically, but he said it's the result of a brain injury, although Schmuel didn't know Ray pre-accident. I didn't say that Ray acts in an evil, malicious way. I said other people say that Ray acts in an evil, malicious way. And one of the things that one person in here says is that Ray lies. And I don't think he lies. I don't think that he remembers stuff that he said. Like, he changes his opinion, or he changes his view of what happened before. But it's like, it's almost, what is that? I made this comment to Ray before. What is the movie? Is it Memento, where the guy has to write notes to himself every day?
Yeah,
right?
It's backwards.
Like, yeah, like, I don't think
Ray is Memento.
I don't think he remembers. I don't remember the movie.
It's an interesting take.
And I might be thinking of something else, but I feel like he just, I don't know, man. I feel like he doesn't remember. Like, I'll have a conversation with him, and we'll have talked about something, and it's like he doesn't remember. You
should tell Ray to do that. Take a Sharpie, and every time you tell a lie or a story, write it down on your arm so that you can remember the next time you can. Yeah. So you don't screw up the story the next time you tell it.
You got to
see his arm all marked up like Memento.
Afterwards.
Carlos, I love Carlos Danger, and of course. Oh, Schmuel, I love you because I was you. Yes, Carlos. I haven't gotten to the Carlos stage yet. But there we go.
Dave Sarah, good job on MLC the other night, holding it down.
Thank you. I told myself, under no circumstance, agree with Kevin Brennan. So I just went opposite every single time.
Well, tell what came up from that.
What came up? You talking about me siding with Ray about the stupid basketball game that'll never happen?
No, the
Oh
follow
yeah,
you got.
Kumia followed me. That's right. Oh yeah, Kumia followed me, and I immediately messaged him and said, "You're not gonna turn me against the boss." With the happy face. But can I just show you what I purchased? What were you gonna say, Schmuel? Sorry.
Sure. No. I was gonna say, Anthony Cumia following you. That's a nice follow.
It is a nice follow. Yes.
I mean, I was excited when Carlos Danger followed me,
Yeah, insufferable bastards. You kidding me?
and Doug Nelson, and then Tukey followed me after forever.
Oh, that's nice of him.
Yeah,
Very nice.
Beloved chat are funny. Oh, Schmuely baby, you'll learn one day when you dance with Devito. Devito don't change; he changes you.
I bought a small one and a big one. This one's 15 inches, the small, and then the extra large is 44 inches.
Are they
Okay,
seriously?
I got a
selling-
little
is that
uncomfortable, Dave, with your comment on Twitter. So Dave commented, he's like, "I want to have." What'd you say? I want to have sex with this
I want to
doll.
buy this and fuck it. Not gonna lie, I want to fuck this.
And then I said, "What do you mean, sit on it?" And he's like,
I want to
"How about sit on me?" And I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's a little
wait.
much, but
Come on. We're having fun, right? A nice KB doll.
are they
I wanna
really
see the
selling
quality.
voodoo dolls of Kevin? Or is
Are they
this just like a goof?
I almost did a 1 to 2 day shipping just to see how quick of a turnaround I can actually get it, and then like see if I can find ways to like talk shit about it. Be like, I put 1 to 2 day shipping, they charged me, but I didn't get it for 4 days. Whatever. I want to see what the quality of the small one and the big one are gonna be, because apparently it's like a pillow you can like sleep with. I'm excited.
It's a little interesting.
yeah.
And then whenever I'm mad at KB, I'll like pull his turkey neck, or I'll put little pins in him. You know?
We'll be seeing KB. I'll have one of those psychics on, and you'll be getting back pain, and we'll know it was Dave.
Yeah. For whatever reason, my arm won't move from this position. So I'm gonna be doing the podcast from this position.
All right, now that Dave's
all
here, I
kidding
gotta
aside,
drop
Dave-
my
All right,
my
man,
wife
go-
is pulling the hook on me. But great to be
Dan,
on
thank you
Schmuel.
so
Dave.
much. It was great having you, man. Thank
Love
you
you,
so
buddy.
much.
Right.
Well, I'm
Talk soon,
sure we'll
guys.
hear about this again. Take care, pal.
Yeah, baby.
You
Schmuel
know the
boy.
Stephen Garrett thing with the brother man shirt.
Yes.
So yeah, Garrett.
No,
Steve
well,
ordered
okay.
a brother man
Oh,
shirt from
okay,
Opie,
okay.
and he never got it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's been
Huh.
like 3-4 months.
Okay, well, what shop is Opie's shop then?
I don't know.
Is it just like on his YouTube channel?
I
Oh.
guess. And but
But he doesn't even run like. Maybe I have to take a look to see what it is. I have to see what they're using to sell his stuff, or where they bought it. But that sucks.
Carlos Danger. Do people find the Auntie Karen show funny? Serious question.
It's tough enough to listen to
I
Kevin.
don't know.
It's tough enough to listen to Kevin sometimes by himself, let alone other people trying to interpret him. 99% of the time, 99% of the time, I have MLC on. It's muted, and I'm talking to the chat. Clip it. That's the best way to watch KB is muted.
I don't really watch it, to be honest. Except when my pal Ray is on.
Ray's been very good on there last few times for sure. Not the last time, but the time before he was really on. When I was on with Little Mirror, when they had Ray on to stick it to me, Ray was really good that day. I thought.
Big W, a BFE, Big W. Every dude who obsesses over Liam has small dick energy. I don't obsess over Liam. But there you go. I did have to laugh when he backed down from a fight with Dixon, though.
Here, just
And
do
then went
this.
after Ray.
You want to do a GeoGuessr?
Dave,
Yeah.
BFE, Dave, you talked over Kevin and guests all Saturday night. That's what Dave
right.
does. That's why we have. That's why
Exactly.
people like having him on.
Literally. And then I just disappear for moments at a time, so you could get all your shit in that I don't have to listen to, and you can just tell your audience. This way, I come back and I'm talking over everybody again. Yes, I do talk over people. And that's what I tell people every single time. And for whatever reason, they still send me the link. I always tell them, I say, I can kind of dominate a podcast. That's when anytime somebody says, hey, you want to come on, Dave? Yes, I will come on your podcast. However, I will dominate it. So there, I apologize. I'll try to be less of that.
And
you want to do a GeoGuessr? Go on.
yeah, I do. But Ray has been text all the things that I've said on the show, because I just got a text from Ray.
Okay. And
He's pissed off because he's, the streaming that I'm
Why?
saying that he's brain damaged, disloyal, dishonest, untrustworthy
wow.
from
It's
quite
like
a few people. I'm
it's like
getting
the
a lot of weird messages. I thought of you as a friend. Thanks for using me as a stepping stone.
Wow. First of all, at least when I used Ray as a stepping stone, I was on his podcast and I said it directly to his face that I'm only here to get on MLC. But ever since then, and look, we're still friends today. No, but to be honest,
I just
gotta be
told him
nice-
don't.
You gotta be
I
nice.
just-
Ray.
My response was, don't be stupid.
I don't call Ray any more names. I just
Yeah.
even on Kevin's shows, there's no point. It's hack to make fun of Ray DeVito nowadays.
The Aussie guy at Carlos
The Ray-
Danger. Auntie
Racist
Karen
things.
is dog shit. You can tell that KB is under their skin. They are just mad, and there's not a joke to be seen.
I want to be completely honest. I understand your point. I don't even think it's so much of they're under their skin. I honestly think they're trying to just try to surf off of, for whatever it's worth, KB is up there in the rankings. So he's got to have some people, he's got to have some glaze that Schmuel probably thinks he can lick off. Personally speaking.
Look, I did try to watch it, and look, I like Schmuel, but it was just too sticky, right? There's the Auntie Karen music, and there's drops, and there's right, and and Kevin just says shit, and they try to make too much out of
I know they
some of the
really
stuff
do.
that he says,
And my favorite is he yells or says something funny and then they laugh. And it's like, okay, well now whatever you say after this it doesn't even count because you laughed. So it's like you're proving. So I don't know. I try not to get into it.
This is for you, David. Fall River Cards. My dad's from Fall River. MLC was my favorite pod for years. Can't watch it. Can't watch anymore. Saw you a couple of minutes and you made it watchable. But Drunk KB is
Thank
not
you.
funny to anymore. Drunk one show a week is funny. He's overdoing it.
Thank you. MLC is a great show. I've been watching Kevin in some form for almost 10 years at this point. I see Stevie Lou in the chat too, but the show
BFE.
is- look,
Schmuel, you're a shitty friend. Don't pretend to be Ray's friend when he can't
Wow.
even trust you
That's
not
true.
to trash him or
That's
read
true.
his texts on a stream.
Wow, you did
Wow.
read his text, dude. You fucking
Wow.
rat him. You're
Nah.
a piece of shit, Schmuel.
Yeah, that's what I am.
Where's it gonna get you and your 130 subscribers?
Yeah, I was trying to explain the reason why I read it was because you guys got to him and I'm on the air. So, and Ray won't watch it.
But Kevin, look, I mean, if you go to my tweets from a year ago, I was saying the same thing. Kevin Brennan is a loop. MKE and the Sorcerer on a Saturday night is a $25 Patreon tier, fucking pay to play. Let's do a Zoom call, meet and greet bullshit. That's how I used to feel. And then I became part of the wheel, right? And when you become part of the wheel, you see it differently. And now you feel more involved with the show. So it feels like you're affecting it differently. So now, now it's more fun. I mean, I get to say the shit that I've been wanting to scream at the fucking monitor, but I've been screaming at the monitor for years. I get to just scream it to MKE's drunk fucking face.
That's funny.
And it is fun to call, Liam a pedophile every once in a while.
The realest Stevie Lou. Wow, pat yourself on the back harder, beloved chatter. Ooh, we got a chat fight going on here.
Ooh, chat fight. Chat fight.
Hey,
Hey.
so Big W, Dave, I need you and
Papa
Papa
Jill.
Jill to squash it. Who's Papa Jill?
She means Papa Kill.
Oh, okay.
Squash what? I'm indifferent about all those people. The only person I like or care about or know are you and Malware. Everybody else is literally expendable. So if they want to block me, even though I got messages from other people saying, no, the block was an accident. There was lots of people trying to come on, but whatever. It doesn't even matter. Like, it's more fun to just be mad at each other, right? So let's just keep being mad at each other.
Wow, realist Stevie Lou. He's been trying to make it sound like I blindly went around threatening Ray and he had to come to the rescue.
So what's the argument going on here? Who's arguing with what?
Well,
Beloved
beloved
Chatter?
chatter put out.
Mhm,
Beloved
mhm.
chatter earlier said that when he threatened Ray
Oh.
to beat up Ray, beloved chatter was the only one who showed up, and now Ray is mad at him, and Stevie Lou is coming back. So yeah, this one we just read, and then it's beloved chatter. You wouldn't do a fucking thing. Yeah. 50-year-old men fighting is not really something I'm interested in, but
I retweeted
$5
that. That was a great tweet.
Coke
That was
Zero.
a great tweet. More Coke Zero, more like zero Coke, am I right? Fuck yeah. The thing with Ray that I really realized is he's either really actually worried about some like people. He's actually okay. What's hard for Ray to grasp, because he is even on Discord. He's on Discord, but he's not a part of Discord, and he's not as involved with his community, maybe. And I'm not saying Kevin Brennan is, but you know, Carl and Bedabbler and Shuli, like these people are like much more intertwined with their communities, and even Chad, you know, he's not on Discord, but he's like in the locals, and he was on the Patreon and stuff like that, and he chats with you back and forth. Ray, like, first of all, doesn't take advantage of the fact that like he can have his own Discord channel, and like this way, it's not that he can vet people and stuff like that. Like, he could just be more in tune with the fans and what they're actually thinking. Because I think what happens is he leaves YouTube, he closes his thing, and he thinks all these little people are just talking behind his back. And we are a little bit, but it's mostly because we like him. But he feels like there's all this selling going on behind everybody's backs. And what it really is just like, you either got to be KB and not give a fuck to have a Discord or a Twitter or this to keep an eye on your community, or you got to be more like Bedabbler and like some of these other guys that are kind of like a little more involved technologically with the community. Just saying.
Well, that's the deal, right? You can't say I don't want to be in the Dabbleverse. I don't want to be in the Dabbleverse, but then go on shows that are all Dabbleverse related, and then get mad when people bring up the Dabbleverse.
Well, I mean, Ray was going on MLC before it was ever deemed a Dabbleverse thing. So fair enough. I don't know how many other Dabbleverse shows he's really going on. So
Well, it was on Shuli's network, right?
okay, yes, but that was, you know, how long ago? That was a long time ago.
No, but
Yeah, I can say you
MLC,
wanna get out of
look,
it.
MLC is definitely Dabbleverse centric.
Well, yeah, it is
Come on.
now. It's all well, yeah, it is now. That's what, you know, you play to your audience. But because KB's smart, he's like, fucking, yeah, I'll fucking take that stupid Dabbleverse money. Give me that shit. I don't give a fuck.
Beloved chatter, hey, it's not cool that Ray trashed your wife with Stevie. I agree. Wait, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Beloved chatter, hey, it's not cool that Ray trashed your wife, Stevie. I agree. Fuck it. This is a dumb argument. And beloved chatter, I will just say that Stevie, I guess just before Atlantic City, I don't know. We were arguing about something, and not that I'm anybody, but Stevie sent me a nice DM and was like, he didn't remember what we were arguing about, and
You
whatever it
thought you
was
were
to let it
recording. You thought you were
let
recording.
to let it
Like his,
go, and we let it go. So, yeah, I can't. I don't know that I want to. I don't know. I don't really think about this too much when when I'm off, right? Like, I don't really sweat what people are doing in the Dabbleverse.
Yeah.
But it's kind of,
And
I
that's
have to
you.
admit, it's fun, right?
That's you. And then I'm the complete opposite of the spectrum. I'm literally at my computer almost 24/7. You know, I'm here. I'm available. I'm on Discord. I'm on Twitter, Instagram. I'm constantly in people's DMs, whether I'm DMing them or they're DMing me. Like, I know what's going on. I'm in all the fucking cool dabble bullshit. You know, not the cool. You know what I mean. I'm not trying to act like some
Well,
cool
you're definitely my source for news.
of
That's
a
for sure.
cool. Well, do you see the body cam stuff? I was trying to find the raw footage of the body cam stuff from John today, but I couldn't find it. So I had to.
What's the what body cam stuff?
John got pulled over for a stupid registration ticket.
Oh, that
like
one.
6 months ago. Yeah, I haven't seen the video. And then so Cardiff played it today. I was on BYB watching him
All
sniping
right.
him.
So I got to pull up my buddy Mint Diggity. Then you don't want to do a b-ball game that's not Dabbleverse related. LOL, make it make sense. Mint, I was trying to encourage Ray to do the game. I want him to get paid for it, but I want Ray to do the game. But it's like he should do it and he should get paid for it. That's my feeling.
Can you kind of like, I didn't watch MLC today, the second half, and I didn't get to see you on Ray show because I was doing BYB. Can you like just give me the very quick scenario of what was happening with the Ray stuff? Like, you just want to make sure he gets paid ahead of time for no matter what, win or lose, he gets money for show, right?
Right.
Okay.
And I also
then
thought that he
live
should
it-
not
live
go
stream it.
on. He should not go on. What do you call it? Brennan's show if he's not going to get paid.
Oh, well,
If
okay.
MLC is not going to pay him, then look. And it's
Well, he
two. It's
definitely-
two ways. Well, one of his. It's like if you're going to go on a show and not get paid, you don't get to complain about it. But Kevin also doesn't get to like, I'm not going to pay you. I'm not going to pay. I mean, you're just like, you're getting pies thrown at you.
So I think he got paid. What, he got paid this weekend, right? For 100, he got a hundo.
Yeah, and supposedly, according to the chat, Kevin was sniping us, and according to the chat, Kevin
I
sent
saw
him
that.
$100. So,
Okay. So yeah, no,
you know,
but
it
this
worked.
weekend,
no, just now
Just
sent him
now.
100. That's
So
what
he
I.
sent
That's
him
what the
200.
chat said, but I don't know.
Okay, well, here's the thing. If KB's gonna have him on in lieu of Ray's, like if Ray's gonna do a show and then KB's gonna snipe him and then Ray's gonna come on to KB's show, yeah, KB should give him $100 because he's not making $100 on his show usually. He's making 70, 80 before taxes and before YouTube. So,
Right.
so
I just was like, it doesn't have to be a lot of money, but give him like if he was going to do a show somewhere, give him a couple of bucks. Give him for what he would do for doing a set. The other
think
guy, I don't
100 's
think
good.
about this stuff when I'm off stream. Okay, Schmuel Imholt, you got me. Ozzy,
think
you got
Yeah.
me.
No,
I should say I don't sweat it when I'm off stream.
I feel like you're somebody though that like you're also kind of talking to random ass people on the phone. Like, me and I speak on the phone. I call you noon sometimes. You call me
Right.
used to call me at 10 a.m. every morning almost. Yeah, I mean, we think I mean, it's a good point, but again, I'm tuned in. I'm clicked in. I'm firing on all cylinders here.
All right. Mint Diggity, then you throw him under the bus reading his text. LOL, you are not the friend you claim you are. No, I maybe I was wrong and maybe I should take this and suffer through, but I read the text to prove the point that you fucking guys trolled Ray within 30 seconds of me saying something. But go ahead.
You don't have the hat.
You don't have the hat. Ooh.
80% of every dollar Ray makes on YouTube can be traced to KB, 10% to Shuley, and 10% to Cardiff.
Yo, I'll say one thing, and I've said this to Schmuel. I don't know if you guys have ever heard it. If you look at the nexus point from when Ray's stream really started taking off, it was that Cardiff Electric and Tukey episode.
Right.
After that episode got about 600 peak concurrent live viewers. That's some KB numbers right there, right? He made I think he made 400 or 500 bucks that night in super chats, maybe a little more. And then I think 400 bucks. And then after that, every single live stream was easily over 100 and often in the 150, 160 range. And lately it's been trailing off, but for a good, I mean, at this point, what, 2, 3, 4 months at this point, almost a quarter, it held like a pretty good number. And you see his numbers, you know, they're tailing off now, but he got a nice bump there.
Yeah, he did. You know, he was doing well when he was sort of heavily involved in the Dabbleverse. He was doing well, right? And when he left it or tried to get out of it, beloved Cheddar, I've never read a text of Ray sent me, and oh, buddy, they are good. But I'm an asshole. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't think that one was too private, but whatever. Carlos Danger, he got monetized long before Tukey was a thing.
No,
This means
I know
after
that.
I get off the phone, I'm gonna have to call
You
Ray.
gotta apologize. I'm sorry. I'm doing it for my dabblers.
No, it wasn't. Dave's wrong
wrong
here. He's
here.
getting views and super chats before that.
No, guys. I know he was getting numbers and super chats. I was telling you the numbers. I'm saying he was consistently like a 60, 65, 75, 80 guy, live concurrent viewers. And then after that Tukey episode, he was consistently getting like 140, 150 concurrent viewers. I'm saying that his live concurrent viewers nearly doubled. And his super chats, you know, he did well for a little bit after that, but I mean, we could go look. It's not difficult.
Yeah,
to do.
no. We don't
have
really
to,
need
it's
to
fine.
do that. Well, all you people. At one point, Carlos Danger. At one point, Ray's was the most popular non-show on TSN. He wasn't buying views like Godfathers of Podcasting and Chris Abels. Very true. Very true. I thought that whole thing was handled poorly. And do you guys remember? It was probably like about a year ago. Ray went back on Shirley's show, and then they just shit all over Ray.
Well, that's why KB started shitting all over Ray. Really, is because
No,
he's
'cause
like, well, if they're gonna,
It was my fault because I encouraged Ray to go back because I thought that he and Shuley ended poorly, and it was a misunderstanding.
well, yeah,
And
no, I mean,
I fucked up.
they were shitting on him the first time, weren't they? That was the whole show.
They were goofing on him, but I think
Ray
I
Tard
was
and all
under
that.
I was under the impression that what happened was they wanted him to be part of the network, right, and to participate in the shows. And he
Oh.
was only doing his show, and then
Yeah.
that was it. And so then they were shitting on him for that. And it probably just got out of hand. And I don't know, right?
Yeah.
I don't pay. It's funny because it's not my life, so I don't pay enough attention to it. So I probably made a judgment. I probably prejudged the situation.
Yeah, they always see Carlos Danger's right. They wanted a whack packer. Yeah, exactly. That's what Joey C's trying. That's what Shuley's trying to do with Joey C. And that's what Tukey and them are trying to do with Joey C also. They're trying to turn him into like a whack packer, lolcow, whatever. So then that's when KB's like, no, fuck that. I've known Ray longer. I'm gonna turn him into fucking.
If anybody's gonna make him a whack packer, I'm gonna make him a
Yeah,
whack packer.
I'm gonna shit on it if anybody. I'm gonna show him how it's done too.
Carlos, I'm probably you're wiser than I am. I didn't see that. I thought it was an eventuality, but you're probably right. It probably was from day one.
Hey, I got something that I was gonna clip, but you want to see what I was gonna do, and you tell me what you think.
Yeah, give me. Let me just
Go ahead and finish your story.
do a couple of these, and then Carlos Danger. They wanted to steal KB's whack packer. Carlos Danger. This is all going in my blog. Cool. Opinion. Shuli and his fans were making merch shitting on Ray, yet Schmuel thought it was a good relationship worth mending. KB thought the opposite. Uh, but KB and Shuli were always at odds, right? So, um, right. And what's his name? Melton got the shop set up for KB, did all that stuff. And, KB just doesn't, KB's relationships just don't last unless he's in the power position, right? So,
Yeah,
and
getting spit in his mouth apparently is something that I somehow missed that one about KB until I learned that one.
Joey C is a decent whack packer. Joey C's on the shit list at the moment.
Decent whack packer.
Shuli was on the famous New Year's Eve MLC. Yeah, that was. Yes,
Yeah, Shuli
I remember
used
that.
to open for Kevin in 2019. To be honest and to be fair, I want to say I remember Kevin even saying some of those shows Shuli closed. So I could be tripping. And that's because he was taking over for Levy. And then Levy, so he's just like, they switched out Levy. Levy used to headline when they would go together usually. So Kevin would feature or whatever. And then I guess one time Levy dumped, and then they brought in Shuli, and then Shuli headlined instead of bumping Kevin up to the headliner. But
Was that all like Stern
like
show
29
related, or
that was just no Compound Media. Kind of like Levy, Shuli, they kind of knew each other, and then they were doing their shows, and then Shuli was coming every once in a while, and they all kind of knew Stuttering John. It was like the beginning. There was like the beginnings of like it's like when KB was doing Compound Media on Thursdays. And then before that, even you had him. Shuli was opening for him when he was doing Burning Bridges. This is like 2019, probably 2018.
I didn't hear Shuli. I never heard Shuli's name until WATP. I think that was the first time. But I wasn't really a huge. I didn't follow Stern, so I didn't really know. And Mint Diggity changes the subject. I don't know what else I can say, Mint.
You're a bad friend. We get it. I mean, you're gonna have to do better.
I'm gonna try.
I for one would never send anybody a text message. I didn't expect to be read on a podcast, of course, just like every normal human that lives in Los Angeles. So I understand, but I'm just saying, you already know Ray is sensitive. You just assume he's not listening, but Ray's always listening. No, that's why. I mean, yeah. I mean, enough. Whatever. Who cares? We're over Ray. Ray's a fine human being. I have already vowed not to talk too much shit about him for no reason. But I'll be lighthearted, ribbing, and silly goose. Like, I think he can honestly beat Chad, though.
Beloved chatter, Shuli is the #1 whack pack cultivator, and they treated Ray like total garbage. I get that now. I didn't know the history of Shuli and the whack pack and all that. All right. I'm going to read Frank. Dave, I'm not very articulate. Are you able to explain to Schmuel how what Melton does is very low effort engagement farming and stealing what other YouTubers do? He's like Manosphere for the Dabbleverse. What's Manosphere?
Manosphere just sounds like something that is like instead of manosphere, like the manosphere is stuff about men. The manosphere is stuff about menaces. Melton does a slightly accelerated version of what kind of like Twitch has become, which is sort of like an Hassan Piker, just not political, or a Destiny would do. Is they kind of clip farm, like you said, the stuff of the day, the news. They talk about it with their fans. Sometimes they have guests, and it's all for them. It's political, and Melton used to be a body cam guy. He just has pivoted to this kind of stuff because I guess he thinks it's interesting or lucrative or both. I personally, I'm not even one to comment on the stylings of other people's content. I can either say I either like or dislike the content based on what the content is. In my opinion, it's nothing special, but that's actually what makes it better in some sense because it's nothing special and he's still able to stand out. It says something. I enjoy Melton. I can watch parts of him. I'm not typically somebody who enjoys single person podcasts, which is why it's even hard for me to do a podcast by myself. So like single person podcast is not really my thing. I can listen to Tim Dillon. That's about it. What he does is entertaining for a while, but again, to me, it's just a kind of an accelerated Twitch chat show, which is, it's nothing special, nothing different. And for the most part, the production value is pretty good. I think it's a little over the top. That's why I think he has so many issues. And he could probably get the same quality with a little less equipment, probably. Just one or two things might be not as good. But other than that, I think he's got a pretty good show. Unfortunately, Frank, I don't mean to rain on your parade there.
Carlos Danger, Ray needs the orange back in his life. That guy always had Ray's best interest in mind, gave good advice. Carlos, wouldn't you say that about yourself, though? Like, that you gave him? Peter Sky Parker, Carlos Danger, it wouldn't make a difference. Ray doesn't take good advice from anyone.
And let me just say one more thing about Melton, too, that the manosphere kind of a thing. I will say one thing that, in my opinion, you should never block or kick anybody for within your community for things they say or for the most part. I'm not somebody who does that. I've never come across somebody that I thought I might have to kick or do that to. I've had to do that for other people's servers because it didn't reach the quality of that server. And frankly, as a content creator, you have the right to cultivate your community however you want. As gay as that sounds, you got the right to cultivate it or not cultivate it in a certain way, right? So if there are some seedy characters that are always hanging around that you never let go, and if there's always hanging around, seedy characters will find other seedy characters. So in that sense, if you're trying to find it, anytime somebody does something that's not what you like or in your best interest, I do think you should block them from your community because if somebody new comes and they see that, it's not a good representation of it. It doesn't mean I'm freedom of speech, this or that. It just means, we don't want, we don't want whatever X here. And for the most part, Melton's pretty hands off with the bannings and the stuff like that. And he kind of lets his community do their thing. And in that sense, it can be considered menace. Does he actively go out and tell his people to do this or that? I've never seen it, but I'm not in Melton's server, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not in Melton's. This is from Carlos. Why is posting on Hackverse Anonymous slow down? I would say, Carlos, everything is slowed down.
Shuli's been picking up lately. Shuli's Anonymous has been picking up more.
Mm-hmm.
And Dabbler's Anonymous is just kind of the same.
I always assumed that most of Shuli's Anonymous stuff was Vince.
But dude, there's so many accounts. Bro, come on. You don't even know. There's so many real accounts. Everybody thinks everybody's Vince, which is like there's, I'm trying to remember the one guy's name. There's this one old ass fucking poster that's been around forever. And they're like, all right, Vince. I'm like, you guys think this guy's Vince? You guys are fucking retarded. Enough.
Cool. All right. Let's legitimately switch topics. Show us your clip.
Oh yeah, here. Okay. So I want to show you this. So I clipped this a couple of weeks back, 12 days ago. All right. We're gonna listen. I'm gonna fast forward slightly. And then I'm gonna show you another clip after this. Nope. Let me know if you can hear it. Can you hear it?
Oh, not yet.
Shit, I forgot about Chrome. 1 second. Shit, my bad. All right, keep talking for a second. Stall. Stall 1 second.
Those bands were all for comedic effect, for better or worse. Michaela is in the chat sometimes in Flat Cat too. I didn't know. With Melton, it's very hard to tell whether he's actually banning somebody or saying he's banning somebody. And then I've seen him say he was banning somebody, and then the next day he said, I forgot to unban them. Beloved chatter, I like Melton, but he does wink, nod, encourage his legion of trolls to harass and report people. Yeah, I don't have a comment about that. I like Patrick, but mostly I like Patrick for what he's done with what he's got.
Patrick.
So, yeah, I know.
like Patrick.
You know, I'm kind of that fella. But
yeah, you are. All right, 1 second.
Mint. Whoa. Lowest of hanging fruit. I don't know where we are. Yeah, like he did with AC. Hey, look, man, getting the body cam footage from KB, that was hilarious. Anyway, go ahead.
No, that was great. That was great. Some good footage. What did that end up getting you on views wise?
Very little.
Yeah, I think somebody else clipped it right after you too.
It was like, yeah, there was a shit ton of clipping going, and nobody knows who I am, so they didn't know where to look, and I didn't have it set up right. So
yeah,
so
that's a good little video to have. Nice little raw. Here we go. Share screen. So you tell me. Let's listen to this first, and then I want you to tell me if you think. Okay.
The cross, KB. Jesus. P.S. Jeff Dye is a great comic.
Oh, that's nice.
Listen. If I was Brendan Schaub, first of all, I'd block this guy, and then I'd thank him for the $10, and then I'd quit.
Brendan was good. Also, here's something
Brendan was good at what?
Here's the thing: he wasn't as bad of a comic as all those Reddit comments we're talking shit about. It's
But he was real sensitive to that stuff too.
I think if you get as much hate as he did, you'd be sensitive too. Like it was like literally like people's whole personalities were just like.
People said that one thing he taped in Texas was.
First of all, listen to the wisping of KB's voice, but what he's talking about here is Gringo Poppy, which is like, you know, infamously bad stand-up by Brendan Schaub, filmed in Dallas. It was like 27 or 29 minutes or something like that.
People's whole personalities were just like.
People said that one thing he taped in Texas was bad, and I watched some of it. He's just as good or as bad as every other comic out there. There's no comics that are good anymore. He's as good as Mark Norman or Sam Morril. Everybody's the same. There's no Dave Attell's or Louis C.K.'s in this fucking age bracket. They're all just churning out a new hour every 6 months, and it's all garbage. They're all Brendan Schaub's, if you ask me.
Name one female comic that's better than Brendan Schaub.
There's one male comic that's better than Brendan Schaub. Shane Gillis started a special making fun of his fucking haircut. Literally definition of a hack. Literally. That's how, if you're a hack, that's how you start. You either start with your haircut or your sweater that you're wearing. Or you take off your shirt like Bert Kreischer. I mean, it's so hack. It's unbelievable. And yeah, Shane Gillis, he's a genius. Got it.
So I posted this on the Fighter and Kid subreddit only. This clip, it got like 150. It was number one all day. You got 150 something upvotes, which is pretty good. I don't know if any of these people saw it named inside of the video, Bert Kreischer, Sam Morril, and Mark Norman. But I just want to show you this real quick. And if you tell me if at least one of these people are not talking about talking about Kevin Brennan. Give me one moment here. Oops.
Carlos Danger, stand-up does suck. So glad AC was just a Zoom hotel room. AC was so much more than that.
Stand-up sucks. Stand-up gay. Hold on.
Let me know when you're ready.
Yep.
Glove chatter. He will BFE. He will blame Ray again. He already is. The way he was pouting today about Ray not coming on MLC was pathetic. I was glad Ray stuck it to him. All right, go ahead.
And this is why I say name the fucking names, you fucking pussies. Instead of dancing around all this bullshit and having to do all this shit, watch and listen to this.
I wanted to send. I'll say this right now. I had a.
No, you won't.
I had a friend one time who I've always supported say something shitty about me.
KB was on Bert's podcast like 2 or 3 years ago.
It hurt my feelings. Really hurt my feelings because this guy sucks. He really sucks.
Didn't
in
Chad
life,
do that?
And I've always been a fan of his. And I've never said a shitty word. When
Hold on,
everyone
maybe.
trashes him, I've never said a shitty word about
Is this about Ari too?
him. No. I wish.
Kidding.
And I texted Tom
Oh shit,
and I
that's
said I
Schmuel.
was drunk. I was like, I'm gonna text him.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna put a post out. Tom goes, man, your silence is so precious.
Yeah.
Don't say anything. And I never said anything. And now I just don't like the guy. And
Perfect.
I'd much rather not like someone and know you're a shitty person. And I'll tell you exactly what it is in 2 seconds.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, and I go,
Dax Shepard.
edit that out. No, I'm kidding.
No, who was it?
Edit it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are we in a fucking wide shot this whole time?
No.
Put your hand
well,
over your
it's
mouth.
on
You're all
I'll tell you after
pussies.
the.
All right.
You know, it's interesting because in that situation, Bert, you're like, if I care about the person, I'll confront them.
I
and say
care
that.
about the person so much.
Well,
I've been such a friend of this person. It bothered me so much that they would take a shot at me, and I go,
I know who
"So
this
what?"
is.
You do.
I know now.
Did I text you?
No, I put it together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't respond to that.
don't know who
It
it
so
is.
bothered me. I was like, and then you go, you know what? Your silence is perfect. Don't say anything. Just let it go.
Have you run into this person since?
Nah, he's not doing stuff.
Oh.
That's one of the beauties of this guy being.
Oh wait, no, it's not who you think.
Oh, okay.
By the way,
See, now we're gonna get into a whole cat and mouse. So who do you this? Who is that? Just fucking tell. This is why I can't stand these people.
Never mind.
Yeah,
I
just
know
say
who
it.
you're
I mean, if you're
thinking.
gonna say it, just say
that
it.
is so
Yeah.
Right?
funny that I know who you're thinking because you said no, he's not doing stuff.
Well,
So that's what I'm thinking. They're talking about KB here. No, they're not doing stuff. But I don't know.
you said he was a piece of shit, or he's going nowhere.
Well, now I know who you're thinking of.
Yeah.
And then now Morel picks up on Norman because KB used to fucking go after Bert and all these guys on Twitter also. So they've all had interactions. They've all seen his bullshit.
This is quite a game of telephone here. Of telepathic
What?
telephone.
This should
But
be a game.
weren't
This should be a
Chad
game.
and Bert friends?
And then they were friends, and then they weren't friends anymore. Something like
Because
that. Yeah, like they stopped.
Wasn't it?
Sure.
Yeah, but wasn't it that Chad went on like an alt account on Twitter and said something about Bert, and he fucked up, and it was
Ooh.
him that said it, like the old stuttering John thing. I thought that's what the story was.
Ooh, I wish I knew the Chad lore that well. Maybe somebody in chat knows. Ugh, no.
Let's get Neff on the phone.
Neff doesn't know Chad. The only I don't think Neff knew Chad because Neff wasn't really around during that time. He was working, fucking hustling, making money.
There's a debate going on in our chat between Peter Sky Parker and Beloved Chatter
Oh yeah.
about Melton.
Hmm.
And if I have this correctly, Beloved Chatter is essentially saying that Melton said if he sends his trolls after people, PSP is saying the opposite. And
Well, first of all,
living in this universe, I can say that it's so weird because it's like you can say not to do something and people do it. You can say to do something and people do. Like I never know, like what to say. And anyway, there you go. Like earlier, I didn't think I was saying shit about Ray, but you know now I've said shit about Ray. So there we go.
well, okay. I don't know when. It's, plus, when I don't really know what people mean when they say send their trolls after me. You mean like what Pot Awful did to you? Ooh, you got
Well, he
30 more.
sent.
You got 30 more messages. Ooh,
No, I mean, he sent his troll. That was fine because he did it, right? He told them to do it. It wasn't
Yeah.
like he said, you know, oh, it would be a shame if, you know, this happened to him. But I mean, I think of the Scott and the Jim stuff, right? With Aaron, where it was like, wasn't there something like with the Attorney General? Wouldn't it be a shame if the Attorney General found out about Aaron's illegal lottery scam or something like that? I mean, I don't know. It all just blends together to me. I can't remember who did what or who said what. But yeah, sometimes it definitely crosses the line. I said this about Deeds, right? When Shuley and Mike Morse, they were talking about it, and they came out and said, they came out with Deeds' real name just because they were pissed off at him and because he was defending John. And I thought it was pretty shitty. But
Okay, fair enough. But here's the slippery slope. This is why you can't ever ban super chatters, because that's how they're a bitch. So I was just pissy that I couldn't super chat Ray. So look, fair enough. Leo Gunn and I have since made up. He's a much larger, much wealthier man that could beat the fuck out of me. So I've reserved, and he's somebody that I actually might run into in the future. So let's not start any wars we can't win. I'll fight any woman out there, though. Any women out there, I'll definitely start fights with you, if need be. I mean, I'm not going to start it, but if you come at me, I will definitely take you down. And like 70% of men.
TJ, Carlos Danger follows me right into the stall to Vince Lombardi. Hey, that's Carlos and I's special place. Don't be taking it away.
Oh, Leo.
I got a hat.
Yeah, I got one more right here.
I'm with the Salvation Army.
Right.
I'm with the lieutenant, and I got the hat.
Carlos Danger at TJ afterward. It's burgers and beer at the Mr. Beast Burger and at that freaking giant ass mall called the American Dream, which is a awful place, but it's neither here nor there. See, and this is what happens with Dave, Leo Gunn. Dave did me a big favor.
It's just, yeah, it's your future. I see a cab ride. That's from Pulp Fiction.
All right. Beloved chatter, you can't say creating a website to report a podcaster for an illegal lottery and telling them to report him isn't exactly what I said.
So you made a fake website to report him?
Not me.
I don't know.
I can barely fucking use YouTube, let alone
Kinda
make a website.
What kind of chatters do you have over here, dude? Ugh.
What can I tell you?
This is what the 10 o'clock crew's like. 11 o'clock crew.
What can I tell you? Yeah, well, it's time for this 11 o'clock boy to
Aw. You're
start to
you're mosey on home?
head out. Yeah, I got to go back home.
Shit, you got to drive still, huh?
Yeah, it's not that, it won't be that bad, actually, at 11 o'clock. Not going to be great, but
Cool.
I have to go into Jersey, and they closed the Holland Tunnel at 11, so I will hit some traffic.
I like the flame war that's going on here. Maybe I'll fucking just
Stay on.
Maybe we'll just do a smooth transition to my channel.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
No. I can leave and you can stay.
No, I'm done. I'm done too.
All right.
I paused podcasting with the quad and stuff. They'll have to survive another day. Thank you, chat.
Hey, thank you, chat. Thanks everybody that was here. It was great. It's always good to see Carlos. Now I gotta call and smooth things over with Ray.
Smooth it over, baby. Give us the rundown.
And we'll go from there. And I'm sure I'll survive. We'll all be good.
Baby girl.
Dave, Sarah, thanks for coming on. Whoa, are you going to visit Mike's mom? Melton, did you fuck? Record it and play it tomorrow. No, I'm not recording Ray's phone call. I'm already probably in enough trouble. But hey, with the Kate Meany thing, she recorded John. They're going to play this stuff. When you do the recording on Apple, right? It plays a beep. What do you do?
Yeah.
What did they do? Have to get she had to download an app and actually do it that way?
I don't know. What do you mean? I don't know what you're referring to.
So if you have an Apple phone, Apple added in one of their recent updates the ability to record the phone call.
Okay.
But it plays a beep as you're recording it, so the other person knows they're being recorded.
I think she just used some high quality secondary phone to record, because it could have been just a second phone to record it.
Wow.
Yeah, because she's pretty clear and he's comes through like it sounds through the phone, right?
I thought they both sounded pretty clear. It sounded like an app recording it, like it was on a device of some sort.
There's a clear difference in my ears.
Carlos Danger, Jesus, those tapes suck. Um,
Clear difference.
I heard some of them today. Was it today? Is today Monday?
little bit.
Yeah, I heard some of it today, and I happen to agree, Carlos. It seems like they're really trying to make him into something. But I don't know. And where's opinion? Is that legal in all states? The answer is no. Some states are one party, some states are two party. It depends upon where you're calling from. And
Does it? Oh yeah, we talked about this actually. It does.
yeah, so it's the state, yeah, because that's how whatever, it doesn't really matter. But that's how that's how people do it. There's some federal laws, but the deal with going after somebody is nothing. All right. And Frank, we're closing with you. The greatest troll would be everyone saying genuinely nice things about Mike and his mom on the next MLC.
All right, I'm live on my channel too. Let's do a
All right.
GeoGuessr before you go.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. Baby girl, let's see here. GeoGuessr. Okay. We get 3 free ones. Hello, mate. Hey, look at me. This is my show now. Okay, present. All right. Ooh, Schmuel, check to see if that's a real Carlos. Wowzies. DM me from Insufferable Bastards. Carlos Danger, if that's the real you. Okay. You ready, Schmuelskis?
I'm ready.
All right, let's hit it, baby. All right. This is all you. You tell me which way to move. Just try to figure out where you are. Thinking Eastern European.
This is Eastern European.
I'm thinking Eastern European. I don't know. You have to guess where it is. We have 1 minute, 30 seconds.
All right. I'm thinking Poland.
Ooh, it's a nice guess. Let's take a look to see if there's any like other distinctive marks somewhere.
Or Romania.
I don't like the inverted mouse.
The only if you go back, there's a street sign.
Yeah. Street sign right there.
On one of the buildings, which is an Eastern European thing. Oh, what's that say? Mate.
De Kalea Plenve. What's the chat saying? Mediterranean. Look at the words down. No, but I understand you could do Insufferable Bastards podcast, but I meant from your Twitter. That's fine. I don't know. I meant from your Twitter. But it's okay. It's in Italy? You think it's Italy? You think it's Italy?
No.
They use de. Is that? He probably looked up that Calaprivan or whatever.
How about? I was going to say Romanian.
All right, Romania. Let's do it. Ready? Anywhere specific in Romania?
No, I can't. Come on.
Ooh, Schmuel. It was fucking Budapest.
Wow.
Bucharest.
Wow. Bucharest.
Dude,
There
I
you
was gonna put it there too. Because it was a main city. Fuck yeah, doggy. Damn, son. Damn. You guys are all wrong. Colombia. Damn, son. That was W, Schmuel. Look how many fucking points you got. Hell yeah. All right, next one. Oh yeah, this looks easy. This looks almost like it's fucking Long Beach, or Miami. Nope, it's definitely Europe. It looks like. Well, look at those license plates.
Looks like Brazil.
Brazil. Okay.
The side of the bus, man. There was an
This is-
ad on the side of the bus. Bookings now open. Disney
Oh,
Adventure.
oh, this could be.
Probably-
This is Orlando for sure. Then
Long Beach?
Orlando. I was thinking Long Beach. It looked. Oh, go back for a second. This looks like near the Queen Mary area, but I don't know if it is. I don't think it is. Airport. This is not. I don't know. Let's keep looking.
Well, it's not the U.S. because of the plates.
Yeah, I guess, right? You're right. No, it could
No,
be
it
US.
is.
It is
Long
US.
Beach. I'm going Long Beach.
No, I'm going Orlando. Long Beach. SG bus. How much time? We have 50 seconds. Fort Lauderdale, Singapore. Singapore might be it. Because SG. Oh, we got all a bunch of Asian people, don't we? And which side are they driving
Sing-
on?
Yeah, Singapore's right. Singapore's the right way.
Let's try Singapore. Fort Lauderdale might be right though. But let's go Singapore.
Singapore.
Where is it? Fuck. Shit, I'm not even gonna be able to find Singapore in time. Where is it? Fuck. I don't know. I'm just gonna place it here ish. Ooh, W. Ah. Wow. Good shit, Singapore. Yeah. Wow. Thick, dude. Yeah, SG gave it away. SG.
Yeah.
All right, come on. What's going on? Ponce de Leon. What is that? So, Tessini Tecni Serviso. Tecni Serviso. This one says Spain. Should I try that? Spain, maybe? Obviously, it's Spanish, but there's so many Spanish places. Look at this nice. Ooh, that looks pretty.
I could say, how about Colombia?
Think that's Colombia, you think?
Yeah.
That line? Think so?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Colombia.
Colombia? Yeah. All right. You've been pretty good lately. So Ecuador. Fucking hell yeah, Schmuel.
Oh well.
What a fucking stud muffin.
There we go.
Muff studding. All right,
All right.
bud. I'm
So
not gonna
all
keep
you
you
guys
anymore.
need to go to Dave Sarah over on YouTube. Dave is
Mhm.
live,
Mm-hmm.
and he's monetized, so you can send him super chats.
Oh, don't, you don't have to encourage that. Thank you very much.
Good night, guys.
Night
It's been a
night.
blast, Dave. Thanks so much. Take
No
care.
problem.
Bye-bye.